Thank you for taking the time to see us, Koji says, his humble bow concealing his surprise at the doctor's youth. Even without her light makeup, she wouldn't look a day over 30. She must be quite talented to be a leading neurosurgeon at such a young age. Don't mention it. I was hoping somebody like you would come along. Her friendly smile has none of the coldness one might expect from her sharp, refined beauty. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Tampao, Saki Fuminori's attending physician. I'm Fuminori's friend, Tono Koji, and this is Tsukaba Yao. Yo. Jeez. Yo gives a quick bow, her expression apologetic. When they arrived at the T University Medical Center and asked to see Fuminori's doctor, Koji and Yo had been prepared for rejection. They hadn't expected the ease with which their request was granted. You say you want to know what's wrong with him. Well, so do I. I'm sorry. He didn't come in for his checkup 2 days ago, and I tried calling his home, but there was no answer. 2 days ago, the same day Fuminori was searching that abandoned house. Koji frowns, wondering what was important enough for him to blow off his appointment. What's he like at school? He's totally screwed up. Seeing Yo's shoulders jerk out of the corner of his eye, Koji regrets not choosing his words more carefully. Since the accident, he's been like a completely different person. You have no idea what to do, so we thought that talking to you might help. Are you medical students too? She asked out of nowhere. Yeah, actually. Would you like to see his charts? That seems kind of like a HIPAA violation, or whatever the equivalency of that in Japan is. Like, it seems like you could lose your job and your license over this. You'd really show them to us, Koji replies, incredulous. Dr. Tampao regards him silently for a moment, and sighs and says, someone wanted to see them, and without the hospital's permission. His files were stolen from the archives 2 nights ago. What? She stares hard at the astonished students and shakes her head with a tired smile. Well, it doesn't look like you two were involved, so that's a relief. How did you come to the conclusion of that? Like, hey, do you want to see this guy's charts? Sure. Well, they were stolen. What? I guess you didn't steal them. Like, okay, sure, why not? I understand she's reading his reaction of genuine astonishment instead of faked, but come on. Of course we weren't. However, the culprit must have had an interest in his condition or wanted to erase his records. Either way, I can only assume that it was someone close to him. I see. An ominous thought flashes through Koji's mind. It couldn't have been Fuminori himself, could it? Koji looks at Dr. Tampao and finds her staring right back at him, her expression grave. He then realizes that she must be harboring the same suspicion. What do you think? Do you have any idea who among his associates might have done it? Perhaps Dr. Tampao didn't have anyone in mind when she asked, but Koji's thoughts immediately fly to the eerie house to which Fuminori led him. I don't really know what their relationship is, but there's someone called Hokai. Probably a doctor or a... Koji stops speaking as he sees the dramatic change that's come over across Dr. Tanpao's face. You know it's Dr. Hokai. You know when and where Fuminori first encountered that man. No, that's what I'd like to know, and just who is this Hokai? After remaining silent for some time, Dr. Tampao loses a heavy sigh. Alright, it's not like you couldn't find out on your own easily enough. Hokai Masahiko was a doctor teaching at the hospital. He was dismissed over 6 months ago. However, following certain events, What incidents? What did he do? I can't say anymore, anyway. It has nothing to do with your friend. It has everything to do with his friend. I don't... Sure, okay. Koji has no argument in which to answer Dr. Tenpo's flat rejection. However, he can't shake the feeling that this Okai person is the key to unraveling the mystery surrounding Fuminori. Doctor, he says, waking up his mind. Fuminori might be involved in a crime. At this sudden declaration, both Hyo and Dr. Tenpo raise their eyebrows. What do you mean? A friend of ours went missing after going to see him, and Fuminori denies any involvement, of course. You mean Naomi? Yeah, dude, your only other friend. Koji is unable to bear the shock in Hyo's voice. Sorry, Sukaba. I couldn't tell you. Dr. Tenpo is frowning. Her expression is even more serious than before. Right now, this guy seems to be the center of Fuminori's attention. We know who he is and what Fuminori's looking for. We might start to see the whole picture. Please tell us, Doctor, just what happened at this hospital? Dr. Tenpo hesitates for some time, refusing to make eye contact, but she finally shakes her head. I'm sorry. This isn't a decision I can make on my own. Doctor, give me some time. I'll do my own investigating, and now that I know how far this has gone, please. Koji's out of options, and all that's left to do is to trust this young doctor. It's frustrating, but a friend's rights only go so far. You could probably call the police. That would also be an acceptable route of action. Let's exchange cell phone numbers. I'll call you if I learn anything, and you call me the moment anything changes. Sure. Guys, if I sound a little sick, it's probably because I am actually really sick right now. I took the night off from work, and basically I have like some kind of breathing infection. Jesus Christ. I'm going into the medical field. You have a breathing thing. Your breathing is not good. I have a lung infection, so it's like the beginning stages of pneumonia. They gave me a whole bunch of corticosteroid shots and all that fun jazz, so that's why I sound like shit. Also, weirdly enough, these antibiotics are making my mouth really, really dry. Like, super dry. Anyways, back to the story. What happened to me? Yosuke's consciousness returns slowly, as though rising from a bog. He's cold. No, hot. Something itches, like tepid tongues and cold slugs crawling over his skin. What the hell's going on? Timidly, he opens his eyes. What? It's everywhere. The thing that attacked him in the living room, it's everywhere. Terror shatters Yosuke's sanity. He throws off the thing lying on top of him, but his wild flailing sends him crashing to the floor. But is it really the floor? The long wriggling fibers of what should be the carpet are winding themselves around his fingers. The floor is made of worms. He tears his limbs free of the worms and tries to stand, but loses his balance and tumbles to the floor again. The worms immediately swarm over his body. The hell am I? Where did that thing take me? Yosuke crawls across the room-ridden floor toward the only exit from the pulsating room. When he gets outside, however, all he can see is blood, bile, and rotten meat. There's no place to run. What the hell is this? Most terrifyingly of all, this hellish place has the same layout as Yosuke's house. In a half-mad daze, he wanders through the nightmarish mockery of his home. In the small room where his studio should be, he finds an easel made of bones displaying a blood-soaked canvas. Like some cruel joke, everything is exactly where it would be in Yosuke's studio. Damn it! Let me out! Let me out of here! Yosuke lashes out against everything within reach. The easel of bone shatters, driving splinters into his fists. He feels the pain, but it does not wake him from the nightmare. If it isn't a dream, then what is it? When his strength gives out, Yosuke falls to his knees, sobbing. For the first time in his life, he prays to the gods. The sound of the door opening and closing grates on his ears. Downstairs, the front door, is someone else here. We're home. Yosuke trembles at the blood-curdling sound. It's that thing again. The monster has returned. Daddy, home. It's dinner. Well, he's not here. We go shopping. Can we eat? Yosuke hears the sound of something slimy sloshing its way up the stairs. Even as he cowers in terror, he slides his trembling hand across the floor and grabs one of the bones from the broken easel. The tip of the bone is nice and sharp, and if he holds it in both hands and puts his weight into it, he might be able to use it to defend himself. Honey, are you home? The monster's growls are getting closer. Holding his breath, Yosuke presses his back against the wall next to the door. The pounding of his heart is like thunder in his ears, so loud that he fears the creature might hear it. He knows it will eat him if he finds him again, but it's all he can do to keep from crying. At last, the door creaks open. Honey. Yosuke leaps on the creature as it enters, fear turning his roar into a high-pitched scream. The flesh beast is covered in sludge and vile juices, but before horror can paralyze him, Yosuke brings the bone stake stabbing down. The monster screams as the stake pierces its chest and plunges through to the other side. It falls back, writhing in agony. The sight of its pain sets Yuki's blood on fire. I can win. I can kill it. If I can finish it off before it enters my head again, I'm safe. Yosuke grabs the bone and twists with all his might. The monster convulses and gurgles, its trembling tentacles reaching up as though begging for help. Die, die, die. Yosuke knocks it to the floor, then brings his heel crashing down on its flopping body over and over again. With each stomp, it groans and spasms grow weaker. When the monster is at last stops twitching, Yosuke, panting hard, tears the stake from its core and rises to his feet. Daddy, something squeals. Yosuke turns around to see another, smaller monster peeking out from around the staircase. There's still one left. His desperate, rage-filled attack both exhilarated him and gave him a taste for violence. This one will be easier, but smaller and weaker. Grinning maniacally, Yosuke raises his stake and moves forward to the second creature. The monster flees, screaming down the stairs. Not about to let his prey escape, Yosuke roars and gives chase. The thought that killing the monsters might end his nightmare feeds his savage bloodlust. No, Daddy, no. When the monster trips and falls in the dining room, Yosuke leaps on top of it and brings the stake crashing down. His bloodlust unsated, he pulls it free and drives it again into the monster's flesh. Once, twice, thrice, and more, until there is nothing left but shredded, pulverized meat. Eventually, the only sound in the house is Yosuke's heavy breathing. He's slain 2 monsters, but the nightmare shows no sign of ending. Yosuke staggers to the front door and goes outside. The sky, the city, everything has gone mad. Twisted shapes, nauseating colors, and stinking hair. There's no escape. No end to this nightmare. The last remnant of Yosuke's sanity vanishes like dust in the wind. Hi, mister. Yosuke turns to the sound of a young girl's voice. She's standing in front of the house next door, wearing a spotless one piece over her pure white skin. In the midst of this filth-ridden world, she alone glows with beauty. How do I look to you, mister? You are very cute. Yosuke feels a sudden black lust rise within him. Really? Then the experiment might be a success. Yosuke walks up to the strangely jubilant girl and brushes her hand against her long, smooth hair. Such a lovely girl. You might be the only one in the whole world. Mister. She looks up at the man towering over her, perhaps disturbed by his hungry stare. How about we play a game, little girl? I hope Saya, just absolutely wrecks your shit. Okay, but what are we gonna do? A grin parts Yosuke's lips and he replies, everything that will please me, of course. With that, he grabs the girl's collar and tears off the front of her dress wide open. God damn it! Is there actually gonna be a rape scene in this too? Fucking hell! Shock and fear twist the lovely girl's delicate features, stimulating Yosuke's sadism. Even after killing those two monsters, the embers of violence still smolder in his heart. And now they have new fuel to burn. I like your expression, girl. Why don't you show me an even prettier one? No. The terrified girl flees into the Saki house. Yosuke runs after her, fleeing the joy of the hunt. Dude, Saki is gonna murder you. Straight up, Fuminori is gonna absolutely butcher her ass. No, stay away. Even in desperation, she has no hope of outrunning an adult. Yosuke charges down the hallway and catches up to her in the kitchen. He grabs her from behind and wrestles her to the floor before she can resist. Holy shit. That was pretty intense, actually. That was not good. I find it... I know that Saya's a monster, right? But I'm starting to feel actual sympathy for her. I know that... I don't know. I know she was doing the kind of dick move of scaring people, but... she's still a kid. And there's a lot of innocence to her. Even though there's... I'm gonna be honest. Right now, if this was, there was no... It says erotic content. If there was no porn in this, it would be a really incredible story. I feel like the porn is just super ham-fisted. They didn't need to go that far into it to see that Saya was raped. So, I mean, whatever. I'm not the artist here. As always, the sights of the city grate on my nerves. Today, however, I don't feel as much hatred as I usually do. I've grown more accustomed to my condition, but that's not the reason for today's high spirits. My search for the Ogai house has finally borne fruit. And when I pulled out all the drawers of the desk in the study, I found an envelope stuck between the desk and the wall. It must have fallen off the back of the writing tray. Inside were 3 outdoor photographs. I couldn't recognize the scenery due to my condition, but I'm pretty sure that they showed 3 buildings. Scrawled on the back of each photo was an address: Nakano Prefecture, Hem Village, and Tokihigi Prefecture, S-Town. Okay, I'm just gonna let that go. None of the names are familiar, so they must be way out in the countryside. The photos are all dated, more than 10 years ago. I don't know why they were taken or what they mean, but maybe Saya will be able to make some sense of them. In any case, this is something that even Saya missed while she was living in the house. I wonder how she'll react when I show her what I found. Saya, I want so badly to see her. The thought of her waiting for me speeds my footsteps. When I step through the gates, I see that the front door is wide open again. This is the second time this has happened. Upon entering the house, the sound of Saya crying chills my blood. It's not just her. I also hear a low, wet grunting. There's no time to take off my shoes, and I race down the hallway, prepared by a terrifying premonition. Fuminori, help. Rage erupts inside me like black lava. The monster stops gorging itself on Saya's body and turns its head to look at me. Surprised by my own composure, I slip past it and grab a meat cleaver sitting next to the sink. Without a moment's hesitation, I slash at the monster's face. It screams and staggers away from Saya. My attack must have blinded it because it flails its tentacles wildly as it drives the blade away. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is well deserved. My bloodlust is still sated. Oh, my bloodlust is still unsated. I calmly seize one of the bandages and plunge my weapon thrice into its quivering flesh. The blade enters its body with fascinating ease. Each strike sprays my face with blood. I carve the monster to pieces to savor its hideous screams. My mind is finally consumed by rage. No mercy. I'll see this monster suffer what it's done to Saya. I give myself to the fury, howling at the top of my lungs as I slash and slash and slash. Even after the flesh beast stops moving, I keep slashing until I realize I can no longer feel pain. Cursing myself for killing it so quickly, I stab the cleaver into the floor, snapping it in half. When my thoughts finally regain some cohesion, I find myself still digging the broken knife into the floor. The monster is gone, but pieces of it are scattered everywhere. I stop cutting into the tile, and in sudden silence I hear Saya's faint sobs coming from the corner of the kitchen. Saya. Saya. I pull the cowering Saya into my arms. She stiffens in fear at first, but as soon as she realizes it's me, she clings to my body and cries. Fuminori, I was so scared. So scared. I don't know what to say. I can only keep holding her. This should have never happened to Saya. Everything in this twisted world is to blame, including myself. I couldn't protect her. If I'd been here, then maybe I could have prevented this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, she says again and again in voice choked with tears. Not wanting to hear that from her, I pull her head into my chest. Don't say that, Saya. It's not your fault. I try to reassure her, but she shakes her head vigorously in denial. No, it is. I did it. I don't understand this. What is she saying? You did what? I messed with his brain, she answers, glancing at the dismembered monster with swollen eyes. I made the inside of his head the same as yours. I made him see the world like you do. It takes some time to understand the meaning of Saya's words. But how? Finally regaining her composure, Saya responds to my confusion in a low voice. I can do stuff like that. I can change the bodies of the other living things. I've had this ability since I was born. Every organism is different, so I have to study them in detail before I know how to change them. By doing some research, I figured out what happened to your brain. So I wanted to see if I could do the same thing to someone else. But why? I thought that if everyone were like you, they would all be kind to me. My heart aches at the loneliness in her voice as she confesses her sorrowful wish. But that man, he wasn't calm, he wasn't kind at all. He said he wanted to hurt me, break me, and She starts crying into my chest again. Unable to say any more, I gently rub her back while trying to get my jumbled thoughts together. What is Saya? Oh, that she can do such a thing. The answer is beyond me. However, there's one thing I can't answer here and now. Saya is mistaken. You think I'm kind to you because of the accident? Yeah, she nods sadly. I smile and shake my head. You're wrong. That was only the beginning. Our relationship is the sum of so much more. The time you and I have spent together, those days, those experiences, are what made us what we are. Fuminori, you've been there for me, Saya, sharing my pain, giving me hope and joy. That's how you became so important to me. See, it's harder than you think. Saya's still crying, but now her tears feel warm against my chest. Yeah, I understand. I finally understand. Her smile shines through her tears. I only have you, Fuminori. There will never be anyone else. Now more than ever, I feel the depth of the bond between us. And I'm sure that Saya feels it too. I wrap my arms tightly around her and seal her lips with mine. Saya responds, winding her arms around my neck as our tongues desperately seek each other's warmth. Please don't let there be a fucking sex scene right after she gets raped, because if so, that is a massive, fucking shitty thing. At this moment, Saya is my whole world, and I'm hers. The earth turns for us alone. Of course, I still haven't told her something very important. I don't know why I've never said it before. Perhaps because it was always so obvious. However, I should put it into words at least once. This oath of mine. Saya, Wait. She stops me with a finger against my lips. Before that, Fuminori, tell me one thing. What do you want? What do I want? Saya nods, staring into my eyes with unusual solemnity. Like I said, I can affect the bodies of living things in a way that no one else can. And now that I've learned how to manipulate human brains, Saya pauses and takes a breath before continuing. I can turn you back to normal. What? Until now, that hasn't even been in the realm of possibility. I just have to do the opposite of what I did to that man. It's really simple. I replace Saya's words in my head to be sure of their meaning. So tell me, Fuminori, do you want me to return to your old life? Do you want to take back what you lost in this accident? Oh, wow. Holy mackerel. Okay, we're gonna save. Oh, man. We are definitely going for both endings. I think I'm gonna go with I want it all back. Just because what I think will happen is he'll freak out about Saya. Screw it, we're gonna do both paths. So I'm gonna go with I want it all back first, and then if for some reason it just completely ends, I'm gonna keep going with don't need it anymore. I'm gonna do both endings, so don't even sweat it. Well, of course I answer without thinking. If it's possible to go back, then I want to. I think. I never wondered if there could be any other answer. I stopped dwelling on this question a long time ago. And if I'd been asked before I met Saya, I wouldn't have hesitated. But what about now? What does it mean to wish for the past, and what could it do to me and Saya? As soon as these answers occur to me, my true feelings become unclear. The hurried answer is just as I gave her was less than certain than I thought it would be. Oh, yeah, of course you would. Saya smiles softly, her expression an unreadable mixture of what seems to be sorrow and relief. Seeing it fills me with sudden unease, as though I've just wounded her deeply with my careless words. Please, Saya, It's okay, Fuminori. Don't say any more. Saya silences me with another kiss and thrusts her tongue into my mouth with even greater passion than before. As the sweet softness of her tongue clouds my mind, I begin to feel an urgent need to say what she prevented me from saying, to speak those important words. Saya. I can't speak. For some reason, my mind is hazy. My consciousness is slipping away as the euphoria from our kiss spreads to my entire body. Sleep well, Fuminori. I hear Saya whisper softly from far away. Don't worry. When you wake up, it'll all be over. Wait. I have to tell you something before I sleep. Just one thing. My efforts are meaningless, however, as oblivion calls me into its embrace. When I awoke, the first thing that greeted me was a terrible stink. Mr. Suzumi's body was covered in flies, and I could smell the rotten stench that you would expect from a corpse. The night had ended, but Saya was nowhere to be seen in the morning light. Aside from the blood-covered floor, the kitchen looks the same as it had been before the accident. In the den, however, the colors that had been so soothing the day before now serve as a stark reminder of what a distant world I'd been living in. Despite knowing that it would be futile, I wandered the house searching for Saya. For almost an hour I tried in vain to deny reality. Then I called the police. When the operator answered, I couldn't stop myself from crying. It had been such a long time since I heard a human voice other than Saya's. As it became clear later, Mr. Suzumi had murdered his family before I killed him. Unable to give the police a satisfactory explanation, I was arrested for all 3 murders. And when they found the remains of Takahata Omi in my house, a 4th was added to the charges, along with 1 count of mutilating a corpse. During my interrogation, I told them everything exactly as it happened, in every detail. The detectives didn't believe me, of course, but the psychiatrist who came later did. He had me moved from the jail to a much cleaner white room. That's right. This room looks just as white to me as it does to everyone else. In the end, they declared me incapable of answering for my actions. Everything that happened to me was real, but part of a reality incompatible with the rest of the world. So the doctors gave me a tiny space all to myself, a place where I could live in my own reality. I'm sad that I wasn't believed, but I know that it couldn't be helped. In this world, reality is what the majority says it is, and I had the misfortune to step outside that box. The walls of my room are undeniably white. That, at least, I can be thankful for as I live out the rest of my life here. Everyone said that there'd never been any girl named Saya. Well, so be it. Saya probably was never part of their world. But why shouldn't I be able to hear Saya's voice here, in my room? This is my world, after all, a continuation of the very real time that we spent together. How long did I wait with such thoughts flowing through my head? One night, I awoke to the sound of something crawling down the hallway. The sound would not normally have woken me, but I must have had a premonition that night. Sleeping later than usual, I'd waited for her arrival, and so I knew instantly that was her. Saya. She did not answer, but I could feel her outside my door, struggling with some internal conflict. Why won't you let me hear your voice? After a long silence, something small slid through the narrow bars of my peephole. It was a cell phone. The screen had already been shown on a notepad with a freshly entered text. My voice will sound strange to you. I couldn't suppress a chuckle at Saya's uncharacteristic display of shyness. I don't care about that at all, I said, sending the phone back through the bars. I just want to hear you. See you. After a short pause, the phone returned to my side. Please, let me stay the Saya you remember. Okay. Holy shit, this is actually breaking my heart right now. That's so goddamn sad. Fuck. Like, I generally feel so bad for Saya. Like, god damn. I started to suspect that it might be so. In my hell, my eyes had made the world. In the hell my eyes had made of the world, Saya alone had looked normal. I thought that she was somehow unique. In truth, however, she had probably been a different kind of unique than I imagined. It wasn't that my senses had distorted her appearance, but that she had been so unusual as to see my normal twisted mind. Saya's true form was something other than what I had known. Now, however, I could see what she really was. But Saya didn't want that, and it was not for me to question the workings of her heart. I just had to accept that the girl needs some things private. I tried to say everything to you that day. Do you remember? I slid the phone back to her. I was hoping you'd forgotten. I smiled wryly at the text on the screen, wondering if she really thought me so heartless. How could I forget? No one was listening, but still, it would have been embarrassing to speak the rest aloud, so this time I typed it in the phone. G-H-I J-K-L M-N-O D-U-V D-E X-Y M-N-O I love you. I slid the phone back through the slot. I could sense her trembling outside my door. I couldn't see her or hear her, but still, I knew. Saya was crying. I was ready, you know. Perhaps my words offered no comfort, spoken so late. Even so, I was ready. I had wanted to return to my old life, true, but I would have abandoned that wish for Saya. I know that I would have gone with her, hand in hand as far as we could, even in the most forbidden of places. Saya too must have known that I was prepared, and because she knew she'd stop me from saying those words. If I had spoken that oath, there would have been no going back. I'm sorry I was a coward. Seeing the words on the screen, I shook my head. It's not your fault. If I hadn't hesitated, you would have found the courage. I was afraid of you, of how you were changing me. Changing because of me. It's no one's fault. Saya couldn't bring herself to take everything from me, and I couldn't bring myself to give up everything for her. We were too weak to find happiness. What will you do now, Saya? I'll keep searching for my dad. He'll know how to send me back to where I came from. I see. You do want to go home, don't you? A short time passed with no words or messages exchanged. I wonder how many times in that brief silence, yes and no changed places in her mind. Yeah. With the phone finally returned, the characters on the screen seemed strangely uncertain. Well, I hope you find your father. I'll do my best. The time had come for us parting. She had chosen her path, and I had given my blessing. There was nothing more to be said. If you change your mind, I'll always be here. You can come see me whenever you want. I will. Thank you. Goodbye, Fuminori. I read her final message and returned the phone to the other side. Goodbye, Saya. She gently slapped my door in response. And then I heard the sound of her sliding off down the hallway. And I was left alone in the silence of the night. Ever since that day, I've been waiting. Perhaps Saya really did return to where she came from. Perhaps she is still wandering today, looking for her father. Wait, is Saya actually an interdimensional monster? Because I was just joking. Like, honestly, I thought she was just created. Like, straight up like a test tube monstrosity thing, like, I don't know, something from Resident Evil. It must be her. She must be lonely. Or it must be her. She must be lonely. When she can no longer stand being alone, she'll surely return to me. I'm the only one who will comfort her and whisper sweet nothings into her ear. And so I wait, dreaming of her face and her voice. I wait. Forever in my white world. Wow, that was an incredibly sad ending. Like, beyond sad. I'm gonna go back and play the other one, but just for reference, I feel like this is probably the true ending. God damn it. Alright, so on to the next one then. I'll see you guys next episode, where we'll continue the other one. Messing with my head again.